back, folks.
Hey.
I think we're up to 4 likes, babe. Last week we were at 3. Then you dropped one, remember? Because you were aggressive that week before.
Did I offend someone?
No, you're
Shocker.
just constantly talking.
Yep. That's why you like me. All right. It's podcast number 7.
7.
And today we are going all in like any good kamikaze.
Nah. Anyways, keep going.
Telling you because let's be real. We're parents of 5.
Well, let's be real. They have no idea what you're trying to say. So you can't stop talking and try and explain something you haven't explained yet.
Yeah, I can. Okay, so
Sorry,
let's be
guys.
real. We're parents of 5. Our memory's not super tip top. So we're going to go all in on 6 of our most favorite parenting stories.
We'll start with 6. We'll see where it goes from there.
This was highly requested in our Instagram
poll.
Wasn't a poll because they could write in, but question.
Okay.
Anyway. And so, yeah, you should totally come follow me on Instagram, Bailey linking, and then you can give your input and we'll talk about something obnoxious that you want to hear about. So today is some of our top funny parenting moments.
Yeah.
And I do believe we are going to start with number 1.
Well, we're trying to think about these, and I was telling Bailey, like, we're with our kids so much. Like, I have so many stories that, like,
24/7.
I have a few that stick out. Obviously, we have a list here, but it's like, I don't have anything. It's just like, bam, which makes me kind of sad. At the same time, I'm like, maybe it's because I just have so many freaking memories in this brain.
I mean, let's be real. On the daily, our kids make us laugh. Yeah. Even the 2-year-old actually can play a sarcastic card pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a video from last night. Maybe we'll insert the video. If you're on YouTube, you can look out. Remind me, I'll send you the video. Easton, this isn't one of our stories, but Easton had to give up her passy because she lost it, and it was time anyway because she's about to be 3 in April. And so I was talking to her about she could pick something out because she's such a big girl and doesn't need her passy now. And it was a whole funny conversation, you guys. And she's 2. So if you're on YouTube, we'll insert that here. If you're on podcast, you should check the YouTube link. All right, let's start with our stories. Number 1, and can you tell it's such good lighting? We're doing this in the day.
Oh, yeah, that's the first thing I noticed how good the lighting was.
I love good lighting.
This is what we look like. Wow, why are we watching that?
And so, if you hear noise and chaos, it's because we're attempting to do this with our children awake, which is probably a huge mistake. But we need to get it done.
Turns out lighting is not as good as quiet.
Bless. Okay, story number 1. This is literally one of my most favorite parenting stories ever. I really hope it wasn't one of those you had to be there to laugh.
You probably did.
At least bring a smile. It's gonna bring me to tears, but maybe a smile for our listeners. Okay, parenting story number 1. Several years back, oh gosh, Kinley was maybe 3. A little older?
I think a little bit older because she was sleeping in the basement already.
Okay, 5 or 6.
Yep. And
she was really into American Girl dolls. And I don't think we have pulled the trigger yet on a real American Girl doll because we're like, $120. We don't even, you're 5. So we went to Target, got the fakie. It was great. She knew no different.
Yep.
Until the one fateful day. Beluga?
Yeah.
Her name was Beluga. I don't know where she got this name from, but she named her Beluga. And Beluga went everywhere with her.
Mm-hmm.
She changed her to PJs. She changed her to clothes. She put her in the high chair to feed her. She loved Beluga. So Beluga got used hard.
Yep.
And I don't think Target is quite the standard of American Girl doll.
I don't know if an American Girl doll could have withstood.
Yeah, because I think they tie the head to the neck.
No, I'm just you're giving so much. I'm just saying.
And
she played
loved
hard.
Beluga. And if you don't know our eldest, I don't know where she comes from because she is so sensitive. She's very sympathetic. She is just a tender soul. Like we have,
Probably
man, I wonder if I have that video somewhere. I don't know if it's really old. I don't think I can find
it. You're
out.
drawing
One time
out.
When she was like 3, we went and got maybe like 4.
Oh my God.
We went and got flowers.
No, 4, 3.
We went and got flowers. And on the way home, we were talking about the flowers and how they need to be put in water. And she realized that they were going to die. And she started crying.
That's not the story.
It's not the story, but that's how sensitive she is. She was so sad the flowers got cut.
So short story made real long. Here we go. Keep going.
Beluga.
Yep.
Kinley's downstairs in her room with Beluga. Where did it go from here?
It was probably nap time if I had to guess, but I was working at the time, and I think I got a call or a text like, we had a major catastrophe with Beluga. I'm like, okay,
I think she threw her down the stairs, not out of like anger, but just like to like throw her down there to be ready for naps, and her head popped off.
Yeah.
And rolled into the toy room, just down the steps,
the basement, yeah.
And it was bad. Full blown tears, all the things. So I tell her that you'll be home to help. And we're just gonna set her in the corner, not touch her, not talk about it. And we would figure that out.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. And a few hours later, Daddy comes home.
Yep. I remember going down to the basement, checking out Beluga.
I got a body. Don't even like talk to the family. Just fix the situation.
It's like, all right, I got to figure this out. So I'm like looking at it, and it's really just like, I don't even know how to explain. Just like 2 pieces of plastic like this, and then the ball goes in there.
So you can't say like this on a podcast. You have to explain it.
So it's like a Y, and the ball goes in the
like
crotch of the Y. Sure, ball and socket. Like your elbow.
Like that?
Oh, I love it. It's like a Clevis pin. Anyways, so I check it out, and I've pretty much, like I do is line it up and just shove the head on, and it like pretty much reconnected itself. So I did that, and Kinley and Bailey are upstairs sitting on the couch. And it was almost bedtime.
Our stairway is like a half wall.
Yeah. So they're sitting there watching TV, and I come up, and they don't know I'm coming up, and then I just pop the head up over the sidewall. Said, Kinley, are you there, Kinley?
Oh, it was literally hilarious.
Her reaction, though, she was, when she saw it pop up,
terrified.
She was terrified because she thought it was just the head.
She thought it was just the head, and you couldn't see Matt because he was holding it up above the wall like it was floating. She's bawling. He's laughing. He finally pulls the whole thing up to show her that she doesn't need to cry. I think you might have had to be there, but it was comedy. Beluga was resuscitated.
Well, now she like loves American Girl dolls, but recently she's been like, I don't want to sleep with these things. Like, I don't want them in my room.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's that incident that is now coming back. Like, these headless dolls gonna get me.
Yeah, you probably wonder.
I didn't do shit.
Okay.
I was at work.
Funny kid story number 2.
Let me take this one so it goes a little quicker because
I was gonna do this one quick. I've breastfed a lot of babies for a lot of months.
Is it like 10 babies you've done?
12 to 18 months times 5. We're talking like 6, 7, 8 years of breastfeeding. And so all of our kids, except Easton, that's just what they know. And so, was it Miles?
It's probably multiple. I don't really know.
One day, a child, I was changing, like parenting mistake number 1 in front of my child. And one of the boys, I think it was a boy.
I mean, it sounds like a boy thing to say.
It's true. Is staring at me.
And like their father does.
Bless.
Damn.
And says, Mom, why you hide such milkers? And I died. And to this day, our children literally think boobs are called milkers.
It could be a lot worse. Let's just say that.
I love that. My kids.
Another thing that's a funny thing Kinley used to say was elbow. So instead of elbow, my elbow hurts. And it was a long time. Like, we didn't want to correct it because it's so cute. We don't
correct any of that.
Yeah, we try not to correct it because it's just cute.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2 on the list. You're up.
So this one, Moana, it's a cartoon from Disney. It's a pretty good one. Came out, and most of the time, well, especially when this came out with younger kids, we didn't go to the movie theater very often. We just buy the DVD, so they watch in the car like 6,000 times. So like Bailey can actually, she'll hear parts of a movie. She's like, what is this show? It's like this show. I've never heard that before. Yeah, because not paying attention. Anyways, so we're sitting there, and I think we get out of the car, and I think it was Miles. He goes, Miles or Case? They get out and they go, baloney in my butt cheek. And I was like, what? Baloney in my butt cheek. I'm like, what is that from? It's like from Moana. I'm like, no way. So we like, I don't think we actually rewatched it because we were getting out of the car. But then like the next time we actually heard the scene, and it's when they're getting shot by
Blow
little
darts.
coconuts,
Yeah.
and he gets shot, and it's blow dart in my butt cheek. But he was like, bologna in my butt cheek.
Convinced it was bologna, which is funny because I don't think our kids have ever eaten bologna. Probably have never heard that word.
Oh, it's funny too because like all the kids like, yeah, it's from Moana. Like they all knew what he was saying because they know what it was.
Plus. All right. Next. We RV'd across the country. We would do like a month at home, a month on the road for a couple of years as we were growing our business. And one year, I think we hit like 47 out of 50 states in the year. So we were trucking along. And this wasn't even like, in one big trip. It was like a month to get to few and then home. And so we had to move very quickly. And so one particular trip, I don't know where we were going and coming from.
We were in California, we we're coming home.
And I said, I just really want to stop at the Grand Canyon. I've never seen it. Like, that'd be so great to show our kids.
It was only like an hour and a half out of the way. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, that's well worth
We'll
it.
do one night. That'd be great. So he gives us one night. Well,
we pull in to the Grand Canyon and it's kind of starting to snow a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's already nighttime, so we can't see anything. So we go and eat supper.
Driving a 45-foot RV with a Suburban behind in the snow in mountains of Grand Canyon is like nightmare. But it was fine getting in, but you were like, yo, we're leaving first thing in the morning.
Well,
so
yeah,
we
because
need
I was
to go
watching radar and like it was just gonna do a little bit of snow at night, which I'm not worried about, but then it was gonna snow pretty hard.
So we'll do what you want tonight. Morning. We'll see the things you want to see, but we are leaving early. And I was like, okay, fine. Except that as we pulled into the campground, which is in the Grand Canyon Park, whatever you want to call it, it was foggy. And so
But
why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
So we load up the car and we head to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, so this is the next morning. What you're saying. Gotcha.
I thought it was that night.
Because it was dark when we got there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, but we had to leave by like noon.
Yeah, because there's a snowstorm coming in. Yes.
Okay. So we get up in the morning and he's like, you've got a couple hours. We'll do whatever you want to see it. And then we're out of here. I'm like, okay, great. So we get up in the morning and we head over. But when we get out of the RV to get in the car, it's foggy. And
it's foggy and a little flurries.
Both. Oh, God. So we head over. Are you going to add this video in too?
I can add this to the YouTube.
All right. If you're on YouTube, this is a great video.
Hey, guys. We're here at the Great Canyon and it's snowing, so you can see nothing of it. Mom, can you show them?
This is the ledge of the Grand Canyon.
This is the world flat, and this is the end of the world.
And I would not recommend you guys coming here in winter. It's the worst time to come here.
What do you think, Lakin? One of the world's greatest wonders?
Yeah!
I'm still wondering about it.
Miles, what do you think?
You can see, guys.
I can't see anything.
I recommend this is the worst holiday, season to come to see this. It's horrible.
We head over to the Grand Canyon. We get out of the car. We're basically the only people there, which should have been red flag 1, but not when you have 4 kids.
What are you gonna do?
How do we have 4 kids that time?
I think so.
3 and 1 in the hopper. Who knows?
I don't think they're in the hoppers.
We get the car and we go to the edge of the Grand Canyon, and it's like.
And I'd never been there before. Had you ever been there before?
No.
Yeah. So none of us have been there. I know what it looks like. There's actually pictures in like right where we're standing. So we're like, I know I'm on the edge of death right now.
And you can't even see 10 feet in front of you.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You could see nothing.
Hey, that's
and we had
just like
hyped this all up to our kids. And so obviously Kinley was the oldest at this time, so she understood the most. And so she starts on this hilarious rant. We get it on video, and she was like, here we are at the Grand Canyon. She, like the newscaster. And you can see absolutely nothing.
You can see nothing of it. I would not suggest coming here.
Yeah. Do not come to this place. So
that was funny though, because like I was saying, you can go in the little building and there's like education in there. There was no education that day because there's nobody there.
Yeah.
But there's a picture of what it looks like. And I show the kids and there's like, like they had no idea.
It was a major bust. He wouldn't let us stay for it to clear off.
No, it was massive snowstorm.
We had to get out for the storm. And we did go back just a year or 2 ago or something. Yeah. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Recently.
It was pretty recent. 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, it was
2020, right
exactly 2020 March, because we had an event there and then it got canceled. And so we have redeemed ourselves, but
yeah, and they were amazed by it, as was I.
Like we got there and it was super great.
And they're like, oh my gosh, this is it.
But this is gonna be a way better story for on YouTube, and you about to watch Kinley's video. Enjoy. Okay. Our last story. I feel like we have so much better stories than these. We're gonna have to think harder, do another round of this. Our very last story, the
I
one
feel like
that
I'm the one that thought and got all of these.
is true. And
You're
I'm running
just
the
trying
business.
to-
And I'm running the
You're
business.
just trying to
Okay.
run off my back here.
You provide the entertainment, I run the business. That's great. Okay. We are about to have our
Focus.
second child.
Focus, Bailey King.
There's a child outside
Focus.
this window.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're about to have our second child. I have one beautiful daughter. She's about to turn 2. I'm massively pregnant. We had a beautiful ultrasound. It's a girl. Great. We're gonna have sisters 2 years apart that are it's gonna be awesome. Exactly 2 years apart. We have all the girls' clothes. We're gonna paint pink flowers on the wall. You know where this is leading, and it's gonna be awesome. I've always wanted 2 girls together. And so we do natural delivery. Oh, maybe we should do a podcast on that. Add that to the list.
Next.
And no epidural, no IVs, nothing, like, so super intense, right? And in my birth plan, I'm like, just put the baby on my chest, back away from me. Like, I just want moments alone, the 3 of us. So they do that. Our midwife and everything was incredible. And probably 4 or 5 minutes after the baby's born on my chest, right? One
They
of the
need to
nurses,
take it to do their measurements or something like that,
No,
right?
no.
I thought that's
we
how it
don't want them
happened.
to take it for like an hour and a half.
Well, they had to do.
No.
They have to do some testing
No,
to make
they
sure
could
that
see
they're yours. Joking.
they're yours with what? Big balls? I don't understand.
Well,
So they say,
turns out.
I'm holding the baby, and they say, hey, what was it you were having? And I was like, a girl. And they're like, oh, could we check? Because they could see the scrotum hanging out. Like, if these are the 2 legs and the baby's on my chest, peeking out was something. And so they asked to check, and they were like, surprise, it's a boy. And we literally about died.
Like, we
Like,
just laughed, I think.
yeah, like, okay, we're doing the boy thing. And so
Which
we
we're
had
fine
to-
with. Huh? We wanted multiple kids, and we wanted each sex. Like, so it's
yeah,
not
it
like
was
we
just
didn't want
shocking.
the boy.
We had pink flowers painted on
Yeah.
the wall. I had 12 months of pink clothes folded. Like,
Yeah.
it was bananas. And so we had to think of a boy name. We had to talk about
Well, the good news
circumcision.
was we
had
didn't
to
have a
do-
name for any sex. Like, we weren't thinking of boy names, but we didn't have a girl name either.
Correct. You were in a standstill. I decided you were not going to be nice about this. And so I was going to just go into labor, do all the work of a natural delivery, and then I would just beg you for the name I wanted.
How'd that work out?
Do you remember what the name was?
Bob.
Do you?
Yeah, I remember what the name was.
What?
I don't want to tell in case people like the name or they don't like the name.
There's lots of
or-
names I like. There's not for our kids.
Well, I'm just saying I don't want to offend
Anyway,
anybody.
all of our kids' names are a combination of the letters in King and the letters in Liemaster, which is my maiden name. And so they're all combinations. So Kinley was the first 3 letters K-I-N of King, the first 3 letters of Liemaster, L-E-Y, so Kinley. And then Lakin, we had this moment of inspiration to flip-flop it. And so Lakin was L-A, we changed it so people say it right, L-A-Y-K-I-N. And so we had this beautiful baby boy, and our midwife, you know, the next day she was like, if there was anybody for this to happen to that's more organized,
Yeah.
you would be the number 1 client I have that this is hilarious to happen to. And so we totally embraced it. You can tell your mom's story and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we called my mom and said, hey, we have
And it's like 2 a.m. or something.
it was that late. I don't remember. I can't remember all our kids' birth times anymore.
We're like,
But I remember
"No,
calling my
good
mom
then."
and said, Mom, we had the baby. You have a new grandson. She's like, hey, great. What? I said, yeah, grandson. So then, of course, my mom, if you don't know her, she embraces the shopping. So I think she went and got a
Couple
nice
outfits to go
boys
home in.
outfits because we had no boy outfits, right? So then we got home and
Well, we got to text friends and stuff, and it was just a hoot because we would text this picture announcing a boy, and everybody got a good laugh out of it.
yeah, it was real funny, guys.
So Lake and Lynn, baby number 2, our sweet boy, and then number 3. Well, the,
I mean,
the
this-
funny
that was-
part
that
of
was the funny
Laken's
story
the
is
funny
that he
part
was
of
girl, but
Laken's
not-
ultrasound was that the guy looked at us
Oh my gosh.
during the ultrasound. So our normal ultrasound tech was on maternity leave. They sent us to the hospital, and he's like, yeah, it's a girl, and we're like, okay, and like, you're sure? He's like, I wouldn't be more sure unless I
said,
was God.
I'm 99% sure I can only be 100 if I was God.
Mhm.
Turns out that 1% is pretty strong.
So then baby number 3 You were like, we're not finding out. I don't trust the system. This is crap. So Miles was a complete surprise. Baby number 4, we found out because Kinley wanted a sister so bad because she'd been told for all these years she was getting a sister. So we found out and didn't tell anyone we were pregnant until we could say to her, hey, we're pregnant and it's a boy. Because we didn't want her to be upset because she had cried at all the other babies. Literally cried.
Yeah.
And then baby number 5, I'll never forget, we were in the car and we weren't even pregnant yet. And Kinley from the back seat, she was like, I can't wait until I meet my sister. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I just know it. Like, God knows I want a sister and we're going to have another baby to be a sister. And I was like, you are bananas. And then we got pregnant a few months later.
And I just saw that video a couple podcasts ago
Did they?
of us announcing it to him because we didn't know the sex.
The fireworks video?
No, not that one. I'm saying we announced that we were pregnant to Kinley.
Oh, you put that video in?
The announcement?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sweet Lord, woman, where you been?
Running a
Why don't you
business.
watch a podcast?
I just produce.
You don't
Slash, I don't
produce
produce. I
anything.
just
You
yak my mouth.
Talk
Okay.
constantly.
And so then we had the gender reveal ultrasound, and then my dad
Yeah,
lit
that
off
was
fireworks,
fireworks.
and they were pink, and everybody was so excited. And Kinley was like, meh. And I'm like, girlfriend, aren't you excited? And she was like, yeah, I knew it was gonna be sister. It's the craziest thing. They also, all of them are now asking for a 6th sibling, or as you call it, 5th sibling, 6th kid, which
They're
will not be
getting a
happening
son.
because we done, but they obviously love having babies in the house. So, all right. Those are some of our funnies of having children. Called a wrap. See you
Let's
back
do it.
here next week. And as always,
Kamikazes out.
Kamikaze parents with my